First, let's visit the front end of our site. Right now, we have this basic nav menu here. Well, why is this here? We haven't even created a nav menu yet. Well, if we haven't created a menu yet, WordPress just displays a menu anyway, and that's automatically populated with links to the pages we've already created. We don't want this though. We have zero control over the content of this auto-generated menu, and in future there will be some pages that we simply don't want to appear in the menu at all. So we need to make our own menu. We do that in Appearance and Menus. We're prompted here to create our first menu. We don't have one yet, so let's give it a name. Anything goes, as long as it makes sense to you. I'm going to call it Primary. You could call it Main, or Main Menu, or Main Nav, or even Bob. That's actually a nice name for a menu. I think Primary is probably better though. I'll click Create Menu. Before we move on, just note that you can create more menus if you like. You can have as many as you like. For example, you might make a different footer menu, which contains links to your privacy page, terms and conditions, things like that. The beauty of creating all your menus here in this area, where WordPress expects you to create them, is that you maintain and update them in one place here rather than remembering which page or template you made your own custom menu in. And because this is where you're supposed to create them, other plugins like Elementor can pull in your menus from here too, which is what we're going to do in the next lesson. We now need to decide on the links that are going to be in our primary menu. Let's imagine that we've had an initial site planning meeting with the client already, and we've come up with the following sitemap as a starting point. And this might change as the build progresses, and that is totally fine. It's good to stay agile as we learn more about the project. Very basic for now. We've got a home page at the top, of course, an About Us page, a blog, and a contact page. Then a classes page. It's going to list out all the classes that No Stress Studio holds, and that's going to link out to separate pages for each class. This is partly because No Stress Studio will do better in search engines if they have a focus page dedicated to each class and all the different keywords and search phrases associated with it, and partly because it'll give them the chance to really expand out on the content. Not just the booking details, but, the benefits of that particular therapy, all the testimonials related to that therapy, photos, etc. Now, these are the links that have been automatically added anyway by WordPress. We don't want all of these, so we're going to get rid of some of them. To do that, we click the little arrow and hit Remove. I'm going to do that for privacy policy as well. And for the demo Carly layout I created earlier, we don't need that. I'm also going to remove Home. I'm not entirely sure why we have two Home links here, but I'm going to remove them both anyway. I'm just going to leave Blog. Why do I not want Home in this menu? Well, I think clicking the logo to go to the home page is such an established convention nowadays. We don't want to waste the space in the navigation for Home. And in any case, the primary goal of our website here is to encourage visitors to go to one of the classes pages and book a class. There's no sense in sending people back to the home page anyway. My advice is always to aim to keep your primary navigation as clean and as simple as possible. It's said that us humans can't really process more than 7 items in one go. So definitely keep the main nav menu no more than 7 items if you can. We want blog, and that's already here. This is the blog page that we created back in the Perfect Starter site actually, and it's automatically linked to our blog page. That's perfect. Now the idea here is that you look in the Pages menu, you tick the pages that you've already created that you want to add to the nav menu, and then once you've ticked them, click Add to Menu. There's a problem. We don't actually have any other pages to add here yet. Doesn't matter. There's a great way of very quickly mocking up a menu for quick feedback or design purposes, and that is to use custom links. We're going to use custom links to basically add some fake pages to our menu for now. We'll replace those fake links with the real pages when we make them. So the first one can be the About page. Don't know the URL of that yet. And the best way of having a fake or a blank URL is actually to use a hash symbol, like a hashtag. So when they're clicked, nothing happens, which is what we want right now. I'll add to menu, and it clearly here says that it's a custom link, so we can spot it later on. Another one was classes. Again, the hash. Add to menu. Contact was another one. Remember from the sitemap, classes is a listing page with some sub-pages leading from it, 1 page per class. I'll create a custom link for each of those sub-pages, each of those classes, add them to the menu, and then just drag them along to indent them under the top-level classes page. Next, I just want to rearrange the order of these. I'd like classes first, that's the most important. Contact can go at the end, and let's move About above blog as well. All easily changed later on. That's okay for now, let's save the menu. You'll notice we have an option here to automatically add new top-level pages that we add. to this menu. So if I ticked this option here, every time we add a new page here, it would add it to the menu. Now we definitely don't want that. You really do want control over which pages appear in this menu. If you later on create some standalone landing pages or thank you pages after somebody's booked a class, for example, those pages will just automatically appear here too. There's also display location as well, with an option for primary menu. And what's that? Well, basically your theme gives you the option of different locations on your pages that you might want to automatically insert this particular menu. Now, each theme's options are going to be different. I'm in GeneratePress here, and they actually call theirs primary. The fact that this is primary and I called my menu primary is a complete coincidence. If we tick this option, then this menu that we've just created will appear in our theme's main header, because that is where GeneratePress puts a menu ticked as primary. GeneratePress does have the option for other display locations as well as primary, but you have to turn those particular types of navigation on in GeneratePress's main settings. I haven't bothered turning on Secondary Nav or Menu Plus, because I'm actually not using my theme's header at all in this course. We're going to be creating our header using Elementor. But there's no harm in ticking this anyway. I'm going to leave that ticked. Let's save again. Let's check out what this looks like on the front end of the site. And this isn't bad. Of course, it's not in the style that we want, but at least it is the right links. And now we have a menu. We're ready to add it to the lovely new header that we're going to design and build in the next lesson.